See, things have come to head, time out for scare you, scary route today. And follow us down Courage Lane, they cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day, but not talking intoxicating rage, not this intoxicating. This is far more tragic than what's comprehended. This has got to stop. I don't understand everything as a man. I'm authorized by God to make this petition. Believe it, especially when you hate and aim to kill a man.
Let's give a clap up in here tonight. Oh man, it feels so good to be back in the building. Where else you gonna come to the greatest show in the streets? TOTB lives again. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. There's so much going on. They playing with people link cards. You know what I mean? Like it's deadly out here, man. So we about to talk about it because I almost stole a gallon of milk yesterday at the stove. So we about to talk about it today. Welcome to the hottest show in the streets, man. TOTB. Go follow us. TOTB_show on YouTube and IG. Thinking outside the box. Every platform. TOTB the dopest on TikTok. Look, man, we trending all over the world because of y'all. Years and years, show after show. Amazing guests, you know what I'm saying?
Episode 70 right now.
70, we rocking, man.
70.
We can't do this without y'all.
Congratulations,
you know?
Congratulations.
We can't do this without y'all, man. So thank you. Continue to like, share, subscribe, comment. Get in tune with the hottest show out there in the streets. And I hope y'all ready because we got some fire to talk about. All right, before we get in tune, let's get the thinkers introduced to the platform. Of course, you know this guy across from me, Captain Controversial. Himself, Moolah Monster. Where can they find you, man?
You can find me at moolahmonster.com and you can find me at Moolah Monster Collection on Instagram. Check me out.
There it is. Right next to him, we have the honor of having the lovely author, speaker. Let's give a big hand clap for Shartia. What's the word? Welcome to the show. What can they find you at?
What's up, y'all? You can find me at Shartia_Love Jones Miss Divine on IG, Shartia Love Jones on other platforms. And if you still do Facebook, because my son said that that's for older people, Shartia Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. Right next to her, we have the honor of having representing Rock Truth to the finest.
Yeah, man.
Radio personality, all around great woman. Let's give a hand clap for Mary Kay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Indeed. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on Facebook, Rock Truth Radio, Mary Selena Kay. On IG, Kingdom Customary. And on YouTube, it is Rock Truth Radio.
There it is.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, King.
Yay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, she kind of really like
Yeah.
she was in the audience before.
I do recall.
You know what I'm saying? And she had some great to say, man. It kind of went viral a little bit.
Thank you,
what
King.
I'm
A lot of
saying?
bit.
We appreciate your love, you know, so
Absolutely honored, King.
for sure.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, for sure. Of course, I'm the voice of vibes, Reggie Move Forward. Just call me RMF. Reggie Move Forward on all platforms, the voice of vibe, RMF on IG. Look, we are thinking outside the box, and it's time to get to it. There's so much going on in our country right now, man. Of course, we just had a bunch of stuff going on with Halloween. I hope the kids was out there with their uniforms and costumes and things like that.
Right.
So I hope everybody was safe. I'm joked about it, but we are going through a little government shutdown right now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of families are affected by that for many reasons. So thoughts and prayers go out to the people that's dealing with that right now. But you come right here so we can talk about it, all right? Above all, thank you for joining us over the years. We cannot have done this show without y'all. All right, so continue to rock with us. You know the vibes.
And shout out to, one of our guys, you know what I'm saying, D. Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
He dealing with a death in his family, you know what I'm saying? Prayers up to him, you know what I'm saying? So, hey.
Yeah, of course, our good brother, man. Go follow his page. Dope music, man. It's a breeze.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff going on, man. So thoughts and prayers go out to you, bro. All right, so look. while we have the honor of having so many distinguished and educated and smart women here on this platform,
I think it's a good combination. I think we got a good combination right here.
I think we need to talk about some stuff, man. So, Molat, what we talking about, man?
Man, we're talking about us not healing from our past trauma.
Good job. Good job.
Us not healing from our past trauma. No matter if it's relationship, your family, whatever, we haven't healed. Some people, kind of like cover it up. Some people shield it. People don't really hit it, dead on, So let's talk about it. Let's talk about us not being healed. And let's talk about us learning things late.
Yeah.
As Black people, we learn a lot of things late. We 50, 60, you know what I'm saying? I got more time, behind us than in front of us. So let's talk about that,
So, you know the vibes. If you're tuning in right now, man, welcome to the hottest, dopest show in the streets. Trauma. Unhealed, trauma that's kind of pushed to the back burner, with relationships with family. It's fitting that we in this post right now, when it comes to this topic, because you see a lot of relationship shows and things, Pop the Balloon and everything like that. And people go on these platforms and tell the whole world their baggage or trauma and expect people to accept it, right? Without even dealing with it in the first place. So I want to ask the ladies, I want to start with Shartia. You are a, very well-spoken woman, an author as well.
Thank you so much.
I want to ask you, what do you feel is the root reason why? Let's go with the women right now.
Okay.
That women have this trauma built up inside of them that is untreated when it comes to entering new relationships or new friendships.
That's a good question. So, of course, it all stems from our past. Like, it is important to face our past. A lot of people say, forget the past, move forward in all things and in all spaces. However, if we don't deal with what we need to deal with, it will eventually deal with us. And it will show up in different ways, in different spaces. It shows up as a lack of a positive self-image. It shows up in insecurities. It shows up in a lack of trust. It shows up in different ways. So even though trauma is a general word, it has the capacity to ruin a lot, even professionally. Because if you don't have that confidence that you need in spaces that you have to have them in to be successful, be that from business to personal and all in between, it will resurface. And so there are some who deal with daddy issues. There are some who deal with a lack of having a mother that was loving and nurturing in some capacity because she had to continue to be superwoman and, do these things to maintain a household. And you also have the relational situations that some of us just don't take the time to heal from. So just like we always point the finger like, man, y'all just jump from relationship to relationship. Well, there are women that do that too. And if you don't take that time to, I call it the mirror effect when I'm speaking. If you don't take that time to look in the mirror and to really reflect on what's going on and to stop pointing the finger and to really do the work that's necessary to become better, how can we ask people to love us, to care for us, to be kind to us when we're not doing those things for ourselves? What do you even know? How would you know what that looks like, what that feels like, what that sounds like? How would you know what that looks like if you're not doing that for yourself? So I want someone to love me, someone to care for me, someone to think about me, and someone to be serious about me and not play about me, but I play about myself. I don't set boundaries and keep them for myself. I don't think about me when I'm thinking about love. I should be one of the first people that I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about love. So I think that a lot of that hurt continues to pour into the next person. And what happens is that if you don't heal from person A that hurt you, then when you move on to person B, and if something doesn't work out, now you have that weight of the hurt from A and B because you really never healed from A. So you just continue to pile on hurt and to pile on pain and uncomfortable situations. Being a Sagittarius, I always say that it's kind of like the bow and arrow effect. If you don't face it, you're giving the issue power. And every time you don't face it, you're giving it more power until one day that arrow is going to release and you don't know what type of damage it's going to do. So I think facing that and taking those pauses for yourself, whether you're in a relationship, out of a relationship, are very important. Doing those, I call them touch points with myself, checkpoints. Like, okay, what am I feeling? What's going on? What's happening? And sometimes just the world now is so fast. You know, we're in such a right now, you know, instant gratification society where I have to respond right now. I have to say something right now. You know, I talk to my son a lot and, you know, he's always responding to his friends right away. I'm like, we're eating, you know, or it's okay if you're doing something. You don't have to respond immediately. However, some people get offended if you take a moment for yourself. Like, this is not even about you. So really taking the time to know that you're important enough to do the work and to do what you need to do for yourself.
I like that. That's, you know, by you mentioning that, it brings my recollection a lot of situations when it comes to men and women. You know, you see typically when a man breaks up with his girl, him and his girl break up, his guys is like quick to, man, get on another girl, Joe. You got to get over, you know, you got to get on another one. You know, that's typically the mindset for a lot of men. But for women, you know, it's typically the opposite, where take your time and heal. Is there really a time frame when it comes to how long you should heal before jumping into a relationship, or is it just like whatever was up, whatever?
You know, that's a good question too. You're asking some good questions. I think it depends on the person. I'm going to be honest. In previous breakups, it's taken me a long time. It's taken me a while because I'm a pourer. I'm a giver. I'm a lover of love. You know, that's the name of my business. And the last time I had to heal, though, I invited God in. And I said, God, I don't want to go through this healing stage by myself this time. I need you. I need your help. And the healing happened so swiftly and in such a different capacity. And it just felt different. And so I don't think there's necessarily a time frame. I think that depends on the person, how deep it was, what was the hurt, what actually happened. You know, but I definitely can say 1000% that if you invite God in with you through that healing phase, and if you are adamant about doing the things that you need to do for yourself, because sometimes we invite God in and we like, well, I'm going to just keep doing what I want to do anyway, but I'm inviting you in. But when you invite him in and you are determined to do the work that you need to do, that you are determined to set those boundaries. And when that I miss you text come in, you do not reply. Willpower, determination, and discipline. I think the more you are disciplined and you continue to remind yourself in those spaces of what you've gone through and what you would like to have happen. And if that is in alignment with your goals and your journey, then yes, let's move forward. If it is not, you can no longer be in my life or my space.
I love it. Moolah, what you got?
I want to know, what is healing for you, though?
Ooh. So healing for me is a lot of alone time, because a lot of what I used to do when I was healing was fill it with busy work. Let me go out, let me dance, let me do anything, let me do something, let me be with somebody, let me go to an event, let me do anything but sit with myself. So healing is a lot of alone time. I write, which is how most of my books became books. I never started off with the idea of them becoming books. They started off as me releasing as a form of relief and healing. I work out, I dance, and healing looks like me growing and facing those things that are also a part of me that I need to change. It's not just the other person. It takes two. It takes, it's all of us. I did something as well. And all wasn't horrible, because if I stayed in it and if I remained in it, there had to be some highlights and some silver linings, right? So it is a reflection of me looking at myself in the mirror and saying, what is it that I need to do differently so I learn the lesson in this experience and can move forward accordingly? And then it's me practicing those things. Like, well, if something came up for me, then if I needed to be more of a listener. So let me make sure that I pray about that and become a better listener. And what are some activities that I can do and practice even in my day-to-day life to become a better listener? What are some positive things that I can listen to? Which podcast? Just what things can I actually do actively? I'm a hands-on learner. I'm kinesthetic. So I have to practice, And so healing looks like loving myself, because I've lost myself in people and in trying to people please and trying to be what they want me to be and constantly trying to prove myself over and over. And I am more than enough, And so reminding myself of who I am and whose I am. And that, at the very core of my being is love, and reminding myself that I am love.
Let's give a hand clap for that, man. That was nice. I love that. That's a good ending. That's a good vibe. That's a good vibe.
Thanks.
So with trauma, sometimes we have to locate it, right?
Yes.
And in order to heal, we have to locate it, right? Mary, I want to ask you, of course, we've been, I think, hindered by some of the old teaching from our ancestors, and I always say, sometimes people say they live longer, they should be able to tell you certain things that you're going to go through. But I know that as Black people, we have been suffering from some of them old teachings also, because we've been still stuck in the past. You know what I'm saying? And I always was taught this too, that there's some old fools out there too. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful what you take in and what you pass down, to your kids, because if you don't pass down wisdom, you will pass down your ignorance to them. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking you, what trauma, really have we been exposed to as Black people that we still go through today?
I don't think it's too far removed. We have the wrong ideology. That's where it's stemming from. That's where it's rooted. We believe in Walt Disney or Tyler Perry. We really believe relationships is Tyler Perry's sisters. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Aside from having the wrong ideology, we lack truth. We hate correction. And that started in your daddy house. You know what I mean? That started in your daddy house. You was rebellious then. And you attempted to bring that into that man's home. And even when, like you talked about, the mirroring,
yes,
he is a mirror there for you to see yourself clearly. He's the corrector of you. You're not the corrector of him, right? So we have the wrong ideology to start with. And if we can exchange the heart-mind, exchange for the proper ideology, we'll have a place to start.
So do you feel we have to destroy and rebuild?
We have to completely abandon and don't look back. Just about everything you were told, everything you believed was a lie.
Yep.
And you lie to yourself on a daily, on a constant. You love the lie you live. You know what I mean? So you have to completely become honest with yourself, rock true, master singleness, get a degree in yourself. You know what I mean? You have to know who you are, like she stated, to whom you belong. And that's rooted in God. I don't care what it is people want to, play around with. That is rooted in God.
Yes,
anything true north. It is the original point of reference for all things to come into eternity. Anything outside of the true north or the original point of reference is fictitious, is made up. Why can't you trust the atom? Because he literally makes up everything. People just lying. People just lying. So you got to be willing to make that proper exchange for truth.
I love it. Once again, we are right here at TOTB. Shout out to Indie Network, man. Thinking outside the box. It's quite interesting of what was spoken about briefly as far as daddy issues. I know how I am about statistics, right? And I've noticed that every year since the pandemic, really before the pandemic, but especially since this pandemic, relationships, when they take these surveys in different cities, about why most relationships or some relationships typically end or what was the main cause. And, the poll for most men would say, well, she didn't have a father in her life, And I know that sometimes that correlates when it comes to that. When women don't have a father in their life, they typically don't know the right steps to know how to be loved. Because if a father's in a young girl's life, he tells her exactly what to look out for, what not to look out for. So when they get in the dating scene, they just kind of typically are open to accept certain things, which causes a big amount of trauma too. So I want to ask, and of course, this is something that I've thought about as well, because, a lot of men and women grow up without fathers. How vital, Mary, do you think it is for a young woman or a woman in general to have a father or her father in her life to have a successful relationship?
It's life or death. It's life or death. And, like you stated, having a father and giving the what to look out for, we shouldn't have to look out for anything if our kings had fathers too. They wouldn't be abnormally using or abusing us. And a lot of the things that have happened in a home with or without the father was abnormal usage. It was abuse, not just sexually, not just physically, but using me in the incorrect manner. If you see me as a tool, that's a hammer. Just because I have the back on me that symbolizes or looks like a crowbar, don't use me to pry open that door. That's not what I'm here for. So the abnormal usage starts at home and it grows out into our community. And we have our kings that can put a stop to it all. It's not just women. It is when kings stand up and stand up for us that the abuse ends. Because at the end of the day, the idea wasn't given to the queen. It was given to the man.
Right.
Adam, where art thou? And he's still asking that question today. Where art thou, brother? Where you at? Where you at?
She just gave me chills.
Man, I'm talking up in there. Yeah. The dopest show in the streets. TOTB, man. We are talking about trauma. We are emphasizing, especially in this holiday season that we are entering in. I am the first to admit, and I always say this, I'm getting better with this. The holiday season brings a lot of trauma for me. I lost my mom the day before Christmas, and 20 years later, I'm still dealing with the trauma of that, And there's no real, I'm glad you said there's no real time frame on how to really get past that. But holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, seeing the snowfall, seeing the Christmas lights in the trees, hearing Mariah Carey, and that Christmas, all that just brings, it brings a level of trigger, So I feel like it's...
But are those real though?
Teach.
What, triggers?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Brother.
I want to know because... Teach. I think it's a cop-out, right? Because if you can, say words trigger you, as far as maybe disrespecting words, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a word like bitch, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that triggered you, right? Why would you keep letting that trigger you?
Teach, brother.
Mentally, why would you keep letting that? So I think it's a cop-out, so if you say this, I'm going to go crash out. Why though? You know what I'm saying? So I always look at it, I always look to me, you know what I'm saying? I look at it as like, if I'm dealing with someone and I don't like those things that this person say, it's up to me to have a cutoff switch.
Yep.
Say, listen, I can't do this, or I gonna keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep saying that's gonna be my trigger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really like, you know, you playing with fire almost. You know, that's just to me. You know, because I don't have trigger. Like once I leave something, you know, I'm kind of really done. Don't nothing like from that old past kind of make me take it to this next. You know what I'm saying? I don't take baggage around with me. You know what I'm saying? I really don't.
So how do you, what advice would you give a person, a man or woman, that has had triggers, or when they hear a certain word or they hear or see a certain show or anything like that, how would you advise them to block that out and focus on positive when all they see is negative? There's nobody in their life to really guide them to say, hey, this is not how you not do this. Because a lot of times when it comes to triggers, and I do agree with you when it comes to that word, because that you should be able to control your mindset, you know, but it's like the blind leading the blind. Nobody knows how to actually go through getting through this besides therapy. You know, there's a black cloud or stigma around therapy for whatever reason. But besides that, how do we educate our people to get through those?
What I say, look at the consequences that happen every time you crash out over the triggers.
Crash out, yeah.
Just look at them. None of them good, right? So why would I keep following those footsteps? So a person needs to look at why they keep going, you know what I'm saying, at it like that, and then figure out, like, I can't keep doing that. Like, we can't keep it. Like, that's the ticket, man. Yeah. Some people would lose themselves, keep doing things for 20, 30 years.
Repetition.
Yeah, because they lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? And it's a bad thing, because they wake up at a certain age and it's like, it's almost over with. That's why I say, as a segue, what have we learned late? We learned so much stuff late. You know what I'm saying? And I really put it on our elders, man. We wasn't taught right. We wasn't taught right, man. And we still living off the things that they taught us. We haven't developed our own way. Some of us, but most of us haven't.
Correct.
So I work with scholars. I also have a background in education, and triggers are a real thing. Now, how much power you give the trigger is what is key. And then what you do when you're triggered is important. You have to unpack that emotion. I'm not a firm believer in just not paying attention to it and going, this isn't real for me, and just turning the cheek and keep going, because eventually it's going to show up in something else. I am a firm believer in unpacking that emotion. So you're upset. Why are you upset? What is this reminding you of? How are you feeling? Okay, so what can we do to help you unpack that emotion? Well, I'm upset because X, Y, and Z. Okay, so is that a real thing? Is that happening to you right now? What can we do to help you find comfort in this space right now? But we have to face the emotion that's behind the emotion, because usually when a scholar or an adult or anyone else is upset or triggered, there's an emotion behind the latest emotion. Yeah. It's not really that one. You know, it's the one behind the one that we're trying to protect because of pride, because of ego, because I don't want to be embarrassed, because I don't want to be transparent, because I don't want to be authentic, because I don't want to be organic. I don't want to be real with myself and real with nobody else. So once you can get through that, I think the word trigger sometimes is a fallback, vocabulary word. However, I believe the actions that are related to what a trigger does it's very real. And finding silver linings in those spaces, or trying to figure out the why. A lot of times, to me, like you were speaking on, we've learned traditions for 20 and 30 years. You will go into a family event. Oh, I ain't talking to her. I ain't talked to her in 20 years, and I ain't gonna change my mind. Now that is just complete unforgiveness. Yeah. One thing we have to learn to do is forgive. like forgive. You're keeping yourself in a jail cell and confined, and you're limiting your own blessings by holding something, against someone for so long. It's like, no, we can't do that. And then you're, like you said, teaching that unforgiveness. It's pouring into the next season and pouring into the next generation. And I think that forgiveness is a lot of that, forgiving ourselves for being in spaces that we may not or should not have been in, or forgiving other people and just realizing that whatever happened has happened, and that the things that we have put ourselves in, we were in that situation. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't keep blaming other people for things that have happened to us. Even if you have daddy issues or mommy issues, we're grown now. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. We have to do better, because if we don't, now I'm pouring that horrible energy and that nasty attitude and that nasty mouth and that disgusting disposition onto my son, who is then going to have that outlook with his children and how he treats the woman that's going to be in his life. Like, I think we just have a lot of people, like you stated earlier, not willing to look at themselves and hold themselves accountable. It's like accountability is like a scary word. Hold yourself accountable.
Truth. Yeah. What you said.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say that as far as it being real or not, it is imaginative. These are the things that you're making up in your head that have never happened, may not ever happen. The situation happened, and you're stuck there. Mm-hmm. And so the triggers, we'll use that word, is just the outward display of your depression and also your anxiety. So you are thinking about the past that you can no longer control. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about a future that you cannot control. Mm-hmm. You're not currently living in the precinct as ordered, as written, as prescribed. So you're disobedient yet again to God. A lot of the things that we're holding on to serve us absolutely no purpose. Mm-hmm. And I can't stop thinking about this controller, because you're giving control to somebody else to rest, rule, and abide you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think that having the wrong idea how to heal is the reason why we have these issues. I'm also with everybody here that we are grown. You cannot no longer blame anybody else for your decision making. Yet another portion, a part of this is you don't have that much control over your life like you think you do. The truth of the matter is we're seriously just that henchman in the back pushing buttons, making it look like we're doing something we're not. You were supposed to be in that situation. Mm-hmm. It was for your becoming. It was for God's reputation. It was for whatever he needed you to do while you were here. Nobody wants to be baby mama number 1365. Nobody signed up for those things. Nobody just directly signs up to be a molester. Who's just like, put me down? Like, nobody. Right. But this is the role you play in society. Mm-hmm. Judas didn't sign up to be Judas. That's why it hurt so bad he couldn't even face tomorrow, because of the role he had to play in society. And you remember that Jesus called Judas friend. Yes, he called Peter the devil. Yeah. Think about that. It was still a third day morning for Judas. So you got to think about, when you are holding those grudges, you don't want to talk to people. You have a responsibility not just to forgive, but be forgive, like you've been forgiven by God before you ever did it. Already, you're a person. You're fallible, jacked up, just like me. Yeah. You're a liar, just like me. Like, what's the issue that we're having? Everybody's gonna do something, but it's about you still holding on to the fall or fallen behavior, the cover story, trying to cover yourself, but you assed out. Mm-hmm. This is insane. Mm-hmm. Exchange the ideology, change the way you think, repent, for the king, for the kingdom is now, not in the future, and it's not in the past.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Man, come on, man. Sheesh. Trauma.
I got a question for you, Red.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, if you can, go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
This is good.
My younger self. You know, my only child. You know, never knew my father. Seen him 2 or 3 times in my life. And one of those times was at my mom's funeral, right? My mom sheltered me, you know, didn't really go outside like that. She made sure I wasn't hanging around no gangs, you know. So in a lot of ways, I lived in a fantasy lifestyle, you know. My action figures was my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, so growing up, I wish that I had someone that's Reggie right now to tell Reggie at 12 to open your mind to the real world. Because I think my mom wanted to shelter me, and then, which is not, you know, nothing wrong with that, but she wanted to keep me in a space where she didn't want me to know what the outside world looked like.
Okay.
How dangerous it is, how corrupt it is, how scary it can be. But speaking of fathers, I wish I would have had that. You know, I had my uncles and things like that, but to have that presence there, even if it wasn't a father, a big brother or something, just to bring you back to earth, to remind you once you graduate high school, once you get your driver's license, once you have kids, once you get debt, life begins. So I really wish that component was there, and I would tell myself that.
What about you, Mary? What would you tell your younger self?
To just be. That's fruitful. That multiplies. To be honest with myself. That it is God who rearranges parts for his name's sake solely. That I am chosen. That I am not in control of anything. To let grow. That's it.
Come on, man.
That's three shot too.
I do apologize. I would tell myself that I am beautiful, that the skin I'm in is perfect. I grew up in a predominantly Caucasian city, and so I didn't like being tall. I didn't like being dark skinned. I didn't like any of those things. I've always been a little thicker than most. And so I didn't like that, you know, and I just would remind myself that I am beautiful just the way I am on the outside and the inside. Because ultimately that lack of esteem, like I talked about earlier, poured out, you know, in different ways. And that I would tell myself that my mom and dad are doing the very best that they can. And to just continue to love them and love myself. And I think that things would have probably been a little smoother for me instead of me always feeling behind or left out or like I did something wrong or, you know, carrying that weight as a child.
I love that. Moolah, your turn.
I think I will tell my younger self that this too shall pass.
Okay.
Because I worry about a lot of stuff that I know I shouldn't put a lot of worry in. You know? So that's pretty much, man, what I tell my younger self.
This too shall pass.
Love that. I love that.
I love that. I love the transparency up in here today, man. We okay, y'all better stop, man. They already took my link card. All right. You know the vibes, man. We are here at TOTB, the dopest show in the streets. Look, man, we about to switch gears. But once again, continue to share, comment, subscribe. Right? We love all our followers all over the world, man. We coming back to some of these cities. I know we'll be doing shows in different cities. Yeah. Vegas is coming up.
Yes, sir.
That's
So,
dope. That's
That's
mad
with that, man. So we'll be in your city pretty soon, man. So just send us a message or email and we'll get into them. All right. Let's shout out to the plug. Shout out to the plug, man.
Shout out to the plug. Man, who we got out here, man? I want to give a couple shout outs too, man. We got Rich Attitude, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rich Attitude, man. Y'all go shop 5th Avenue, 5th and Washington. You know what I'm saying? He got the greatest gear. You know what I'm saying? We show love where we from. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Centurion Containers LLC. Shout out to them boys over there, man, in South Holland. You know what I'm saying? Tony, Mike, John, Barbara, all the, hey, it's all love. Shout out to RMF, man. Shout out to you, man. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 books. Tell them about the books, man.
Oh yeah, The Pursuit of Move Forward 1 and 2. Very, very vulnerable in these books, man. So I commend you for, being an author. I know that wasn't easy. So go cop them books, man. And the 3rd might be coming soon. So yeah.
That's right. And shout out to the plug to my man T Mac, Message to the Streets, you know what I'm saying? Hey. Man, salute, you know what I'm saying, man, doing big things with the youth, man. You know what I'm saying? Apologize to the youth. Y'all go check it out. He got a book out there too, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he here in the audience.
I like
you know
that.
what I'm saying?
Go get it.
So,
indeed.
So,
I love that.
Yeah. Miss Mary, tell them what you got going on.
Oh, man. What don't I? So, we, of course, have the radio show on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., always highlighting kingdom customary people that are of his character and in his image. Just recently, I was in the Gary International Film Festival, a part of the intensive film course in which I was able to represent my documentary short. And it was the most impactful of the class. So out of that, like right out of that, I had the privilege and opportunity to be, to receive my first IMBD credit for the Ronaldo Ray story. I am the sound engineer. It is executive produced by Cat Williams.
Oh, okay.
So, we outside. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm just excited about just the production and the acting and everything that is before me now that I have decided to let it go.
Congrats. I love that.
My little Elsa. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you. And I definitely follow you, man. I'm telling you, I be like this woman right here. I be inspired for real.
Have fun, King. It's fun.
Definitely follow you. Miss Shartia.
Hi.
Let them know about the book.
Ooh, okay, so this is actually number 3 for me. Book number 1 is Daddy's Girl, a true Love Jones story because my last name is Jones. Book 2 is Prayers for Your Child from Head to Toe. And this is book 3.
All right.
Woo! Yes. My baby right here. Y'all. Okay. So Overstanding the Game is an acronym for getting above the miseducation. It's the ultimate cheat code and guide to winning in your relationship with your gamer, your streamer, your YouTuber. And much to what we've been discussing today, it's time for us to get above the miseducation because we've been miseducated. And we think that our way is always the right way because we're an adult. There's a different scenario now, right? And so this is really it is a book that is near and dear to me because it's about my son and my story, like in real life. So we open up all of our speaking engagements with the actual recording of me getting involved with his game playing because I was the one that was bringing the taint to the space. I was upset. Why are you gaming? There's nothing good about this, and just being super negative.
Right.
And I prayed and I cried, and God was like, you know what to do. You are literally an educator. You know that you're going to have to get on his level. You know that you're going to have to learn more. You know that you're going to have to be interested, whether you're interested or not. And it's time to do that. And I created a bunch of tips, tricks, theories, things that worked for us, that bonded us, game dates, and now I'm a gamer's mom, and all the fun things. And God said, put it in a book. It was for us. God said, put it in a book. Good. And we literally have been panelists at DreamCon. DreamCon is a huge convention founded by 5 Black men of the RDC who basically said, we're going to get together. We're going to bring all the creatives in this space, and we're going to have conferences, seminars, and events pertaining to it. So I literally travel and I speak with my child. And when I say that he is more impactful than I am, and I love every minute of it, it is truly a God moment. And I know that this is the path to helping not just our homes, but my business is the Love Jones Alliance. We are trying to bring the love back into the homes of the gamers, because there are so many people who just don't get them. They don't understand. They shove them off. They push them away. So there's either a disconnect or there's negative energy.
Yeah.
And my most favorite testimony is when we were at DreamCon and a lady said, this seminar probably changed my marriage, probably saved my marriage.
Okay.
Like, thank you so much. Like, I'm here with him, but I'm just here. And now I really get it. And so that's the goal, is to overstand, not understand. We want to be above everything except under God, of course. And overstanding the game. That's my baby.
That's right. Shout out to the plug. And we got Miss Nanette in the crowd also. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go stream her music.
Stream her music.
Stream
you know what I'm saying?
her
The homie Tro in the house. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Troach in the building.
For sure. And we got gifts also. You know what I'm saying? Miss You, Mary.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
I don't know what y'all do on the other podcast, but this podcast, we give gifts out. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Thank you, King.
And you know what I'm gonna say, Rich? The first person who like, comment, share, they get a hoodie too. Come on, man.
Words.
The first person.
It's getting cold out, man.
Grab you a hoodie and a Sagittarius.
Oh my God. I love it.
Indeed.
I love it. Thank you, King.
Yeah. Y'all officially part of the family.
Okay.
That is so funny because I call myself spoiled all the time.
They know what to do in the precincts of royalty.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
I feel so special.
Last but not least, we have Macizo. Look, man, this tequila is amazing. Okay, whether it's the Blanco, Reposado, Neo, go grab it right now on IG, Facebook, TikTok. Just type in the word, man. Macizo, man. I'm telling you, if I'm drinking this, and y'all know I love Jameson, I'm a whiskey guy.
Oh, I like Jameson
I'm a whiskey guy to the core. But this here, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Macizo.
And shout out to Ben Elm Barbecue Sauce.
Come on now.
This is made in California right here, man. Shout out to one of our sponsors, man. You know, hey, you watching the Bears game, you might watch them win, watch them lose.
Let's go.
You
You
tailgate.
ain't gotta do all that, man.
Hey, with that meat, you need some sauce. Man. Hey, pause. You need some sauce.
That's accurate, sir.
For sure. Shout out to the plug.
Shout out to the plugs, man. Also, shout out to the homie D Jenkins, man. It's a breeze. Go check out that video on YouTube, man. The bros was in it, man. We had a good time. All right.
For sure.
All right. Now it is that time to get man. Every time it's this segment. It feels like we always trending and going viral when it comes to these segments because it's all about you, our people, our followers. We love y'all. All right. But y'all going through some crazy stuff out there. All right. To our guests, to our audience, to our viewers, what's in that bag is simply our people, our followers. Send us emails, you know, sometimes they text us, you know, whatever, just direct them to the email. And it's all about what they're going on in their life, they situations with their family, finances in general, right? And sometimes they be anonymous or whatever, where they can say their name, but they rely on us to give them some advice about their situation. If you really don't want to get into it, sometimes it might be politics or religion. You ain't really got to get into it. But if you have advice and you want to give it to them, I guarantee they're watching, especially this person. And they're going to want to hear your responses. And they might send you a message too about your response if they don't like it, but it's okay. All right.
Okay. Right.
We just talked about how we ignore. I'm telling you, ignore.
All right. So just give y'all heads up. All right. All right. So y'all ready to get to it?
Yes.
All right. Let's do it. This is the time where you can subscribe, share,
and definitely comment.
Definitely comment.
This is what TikTok love.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let's get to it. And I've been shout out to the bros. It's been a lot of, first it was a lot of women, and it's still a lot of women that's writing in, but we've been getting some guys, man, that's been chiming in about some stuff. All right. Yeah. So I feel like it's our duty about to, you know what I'm saying, get this man some some advice, man. All right, let's do it. All right, says, what's up, my guys? Appreciate y'all getting back to me. Love to show my dudes. Keep going strong, for sure. I made a status about this on my social media a little while ago, and now I want y'all opinion. I've been with my chick about 5 months, and I ain't gonna lie, I love Shorty. We go through a little toxic stuff, but that's every relationship. She has a 6-year-old son who is mad cool, and the three of us have a solid thing going on. That's until 2 weeks ago, me and her had an argument because her baby daddy, I feel, is still trying to hook up with her. And I overheard her tell her friend that her baby daddy is still fine as hell. That made me feel away, but I left it alone. Fast forward a week, we both found out that he was shot 5 times and is literally fighting for his life in the hospital. She's been a complete wreck ever since, and she's crying all the time. She goes to the hospital almost every day with her son to check on him, and it's gotten to a point where it's become a disconnect between me and her because she's worried about him. Even on Sweetest Day, she told me that she would just wanted to cook, that she didn't want to go out because she was still feeling sad about what's going on with her child's father. I don't want to be insensitive, but I feel like I need to say something because now the intimacy and sex has been non-existent for over 3 weeks. Now, I'm asking you guys to keep it a buck with me because I was feeling away before he got shot, but now it's even intensified. Should I not ignore the red flags and get out while I can, or should I just stick around and be there for her and hope that things turn around and when he gets better, she don't leave me for him? All right. A lot of that, a lot of that. All right. Recap. Okay, so this brother is saying he's been with his chick for about 5 months. Love her son. The three of them got a great thing going on. Everything was beautiful, right? Up until a few weeks ago, when he was feeling a certain way, thinking that the baby daddy still wanted to hook up with her. He overheard her tell her friend, my baby daddy's still fine, and he felt the way about it, but he left it alone. A week passed, baby daddy got shot up 5 times, right? Clinging to life in the hospital. His girlfriend is going crazy, crying every night, going to the hospital every day. The sex has stopped, the intimacy has stopped, the communication, then the cooking, everything is stopped, right? And he's like, okay, what should I do? Because I was feeling away before this, but now it's intensified. Should I kind of get up out of there now since it's only been a few months, or should I stick it out with her and see what happens after that? We want y'all opinions on this, man, because I definitely have something to say. But let's start with our guest. Mary Kay, what should he do?
I would say take a nice long look at your ring finger. Okay.
Oh boy.
That is not your woman if you ain't put a ring on it. Okay. Everybody's in the friend zone. As much as we like to play there's this game of exclusive relationship. That's that Walt Disney. That's that Tyler Perry. Until an offer has been asked on his table, not yours. As a queen, we don't have a table to bring. Until an offer has been presented on his table and accepted, that ain't your chick. And for the queens, that ain't never your man. That's God's man.
Yikes.
It is clear that you don't have her ear or her heart. And even if God rearranges those parts, take the lesson. Take that L. You ain't losing nothing. Take that L. Learn from it. That way, the next time you know how to rightfully identify, put a ring on it. Like if that's what you want and that's your woman, your property, then you do what's proper and upright for the world to know that that's yours. Other than that, stop playing make-believe house, pretend, Peter Pan, and everything else because you choose not to grow up.
Yikes.
Hold on. I definitely understand that. What if she had a ring and she's still doing this?
King, you don't know how to keep your woman in check. So you never had her ear and you may have never had her heart. And her motive behind even accepting the proposal could have been a miss, and you knew it. Ain't nobody stupid. You knew. You just thought you could change it, or you thought time would. No, it wouldn't. You were displayed X, Y, and Z right then and there. You ignored all of the signs. You kept speeding past that stop sign. Take the consequence. Whether it was one over the speed limit or 20, you're going to still get the same. You might as well went 20 with it. So, ring or no ring, you should be able to check your woman. Period.
Shartia, this brother, he loved this. He said he loves Shorty. He loved her. He even loved her son. The three of them was like, man, but he like, I don't know what to do. So what you think?
Whew, that is a loaded situation. I'm going to suggest that he definitely steps back. I am a firm believer in creating a phenomenal friendship before stepping into anything that you consider a relationship, or we're moving to the next level while we playing make-believe until we get for real, right?
Girl, offer. Yes. Ain't no level besides offer. Go ahead, my queen.
And so I'm going to say that he steps back and friend zones himself, because the fact that she is going through something does not necessarily mean that she's going to end up with him. And rather than having him fight himself and constantly overthink and trying to figure it out, just step back and be a friend right now. Because what if this was her father, her mother, her sister? She's still going to be overly emotional, stepping in that position to not be there. Maybe she don't want to cook. I do understand that it is the baby daddy. But something else he needs to think about is that if that child is 6, honey, you still got 12 more years at least of that man being in his life and her caring and seeing him, and you knowing that she still think he fine. He's not gonna change. Usually y'all get greater when y'all get older. But I would just suggest that he steps back into that friend zone. And if he can't handle that emotionally with his emotional capacity, that he then just step back for himself, because he'll drive himself crazy trying to figure it out, trying to, the stories he'll tell himself, what's happening, what's not going to happen. And, he'll put himself on halt. So I would say to be a friend. And if that is something that he cannot handle, then just step back and let it breathe.
I got a question, right?
Yes. Pregunta. I try to practice Spanish whenever I can.
I guess so.
Just thought I read the words.
Yeah. Right. Can you still be friends with an ex in a relationship while you're in a relationship?
Can you still be friends with the ex while I'm in a relationship, or with the person I was in a relationship with while? So I can. I don't know if everyone can. And if my person is not happy with that, and that's something that he cannot deal with, then I would respect that space. But is it possible? Absolutely. Because like I told you, I am adamant about becoming my partner, my boo thing, bae thing, dip, whatever. Because we were playing the whole time anyway.
I already know.
I'm adamant about being a friend. I'm adamant about showing up in a friend capacity. I always use this example. If I get mad at bae thing and I just leave his house and it's 2 a.m, the boyfriend, bae thing, gonna be like, well, she shouldn't have left, so she'll be all right. The friend is gonna be like, did you make it safely? That's the friend. And that is the part that I feel like can sustain things. And sometimes there needs to be a break before you can fall back into that friend space, depending on the damage or depending on what's been done. But I can be simply a friend. Yes.
So my thing was, I think I was having a discussion, right? And I was saying that any ex, while you're in a new relationship with a man, no ex can be a friend, like, at all. I don't know if I'm wrong.
That's your boundary?
I think it should be everyone's boundary. That's just me, right? Because I feel like an ex is someone you had feelings for, Not saying you're going to go back, not being insecure as a man. I'm just saying that we moving on from that, right? You know, why do you need to be friends with this person if you're not with this person no more?
Well, I think we need to identify friend too. Friend doesn't mean I'm about to be hanging out with the person. No, but I'm cordial. If we are somewhere in the same vicinity, hey, how you doing? You know, it's cool.
Do a friend call?
But I'm not saying do a friend call. I'm thinking that if, like, let's say something happened to his mom or something happened to their child or something like that.
Let's don't go that far.
Well, I mean, if a friend calls and wants your
Invite you out
opinion
to
or
a party,
probably not going to a party with the ex while dating.
birthday
There
party.
has to be boundaries to the friend.
So it's no calls.
Or if I'm going to the party, I'm bringing my man. If that's the case, like, sure. But I'm bringing boo. You know what I'm saying? So long as there are boundaries.
I don't feel like.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm friends with my ex-husband. So because I got a new man, I can't be friends with him.
I don't think so. But go ahead.
Oh yeah,
So I'm
we
with her.
absolutely
You
are
started with
friends.
the definition of what a friend is, right? Well, greater love is this, that you lay down your life, your lifestyle, your life, your lifestyle for a friend. Love is simply correction. I came in as a friend. I'm leaving as a friend.
Yep.
Especially if we're not married. I'm not playing make believe. I'm over that. And so, yes, we can be friends. Yes, they can call. Yes, you can go kick it. Why not? Listen, people gonna do what they want to do.
Anyway.
The only boundary that we should have for people is truth. Tell me the truth. The situation gets complicated when you lying.
Yes, it does.
And you know you lying, and I know you lying. Cut it. So that's it. Other than that, you trying to control somebody, manipulate somebody, and it's apparent that you ain't confident in your ish. Go.
Yeah.
Like if you let them go. Like you really want people, it's very scientific. You really want people to be in a situation where you can observe them without manipulating the subject. Let them be who they are. The moment you put that restraint and restriction, they out the door. It just starts a whole series of, you want people to be just as free, and so should you. Why? Because God gives you that same freedom.
He does.
That is so unfair for now you to come in and attempt to play God. Just be a friend.
But how do we get here? Like, if the end goal is the ring, right? That's really what everybody say, but I don't roll with what everybody says. You know what I'm saying? But just say the end goal is the ring, right? How do we get there if we don't have no compliance?
We do have compliance.
Wow, you said no boundaries.
I didn't. I said boundary. Tell the truth. That's our controlling compliance. Other than that, if I continue to tell the truth, I will look to you. Like I said, I'm gonna lay down my lie. If I see you as friend, I don't need to lie to you. And then I see you as friend, I don't want to hurt you. I'm not gonna do you dirt. Then I see you as a woman, I see you as king. I see you as the God in you. I ain't hurting God. I'm not mistreating God.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So we get there, and then it's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be situations. They're supposed to be there to expose character. Now you get to see how people truly are, how they react, respond, or lack self-control in situations, what their real intentions are. You get to see that. But again, if you're trying to manipulate a source, trying to be controlling, you'll never get to see the person for who they are, and they're possibly out the door anyway.
So let me make sure I'm just getting the pulse of everybody right now. So in regards to this letter, he's saying that he didn't set claim to her, put a ring on her finger. And it is a lot that stems from that he needs to, okay. You're saying he should take a step back, offer to be friends, and if he can't handle that, then he needs to separate completely, correct?
Yes.
Moolah, what should he do?
What should he do? I was in this predicament. That's what's so crazy.
Wow.
I was in this predicament, whereas I was the one that was injured.
Okay.
Wow.
Right? And my BM was with a man. And she came to the hospital to see about me. You know what I'm saying? And heard through the grapevine they had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Neither here nor there, right? But I got kids now. You know, I don't know do that count or not, you know, but I don't think it's a problem because we never like went back and got in tune with each other. It was just strictly, I care for him. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it can be just that. You know, I care for him. I was with him for a while. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it maybe, you know, she's, you know, really got love for him. You know what I'm saying? I know she said that he's cute, you know, whatever, you know. They said that to everybody on TV, damn near. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, just keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know, don't be no fool. And if you see, you know, red flags, go ahead and get up out of it. But I wouldn't just, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just, you know, leave instantly like that, especially with the circumstances that's at hand right now. She's in a vulnerable stage, you know what I'm saying? She probably need him right now, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. I know that sound crazy, especially coming from me.
Exactly.
That sound crazy coming from me, man, because, me, I would be like, you ain't going to the hospital, Joe. Let's go make some macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, Joe, you ain't, listen, those old, you know, wounds and that love y'all had, that stuff dead, Joe. Now, if he's dying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, take your kids up there. You know what I'm saying? But Joe, people get shot every day. You know what I'm
Chicago.
saying?
Chicago.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get him some, you know what I'm saying, some options. So, you know, just you know, keep your eyes open, man.
I will say this.
But we haven't said nothing that we haven't really said anything about her. Like I don't like when it's about the man, what the man should do. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not on point. He should put a ring on it. He this. You know what I'm saying? But she out here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Going to the hospital with a skirt on. You know
Ain't nobody saying nothing about a skirt.
I'm just saying, she probably coming, you know, but anyway, you know. But I just want everybody to have that accountability, you know what I'm saying? Mary, you definitely gave, you know what I'm saying, the truth to it, you know, but I just want to be accountability everywhere, you know, man, woman, and we do lead. We do supposed to, you know, as a man, and that's why I tell you too, Riz, good guys finish last.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm not just mean about being a good person. I mean not opening up your mouth, not saying what you ain't going to go for, being respected, because I told you, we don't care about too much about being happy. Men care about peace.
Teach, brother.
And respect.
And definitely respect. And if we get those two things, Joe, we all right, but we're going to work that happiness out. You know what I'm saying? We men, we on the ground. We're going to figure it out, but we just care about our peace, man. And that's really what he wants. He wants some peace, but right now it's a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick? Just for the queen, ask for direction. What should I do?
Yes.
What would you like me to do? That way it keeps down everything. And if it's still a problem after that, that's his problem. He told you to do it.
Yeah.
Put it right back on that leadership. Put it, nope, this ain't, hot potato, no, this you, bro. What would you like me to do, King? And I'll honor and I'll serve you through it.
Man, what you think about that, man?
Honor and serve.
My king.
Man, the first thing that came to my mind is the 5 months of love. You know, we got to pick love up. You know what I'm saying? That's just courtship. That's courtship. 180 days, what we talking about? We get love in 5 months. We was just discussing about fathers not being in the women's life. We got to talk about mothers being in the men's life. You talking about love in 5 months, you searching, you compensating, you trying to, you know what I'm saying? You looking for love 5 months.
Yeah.
Take 5 months, that's not a long period.
Yeah.
Develop or to realize who you're dealing with. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So 5 months, I love her. Pause on that. Pause almost 5 months of loving.
Yeah.
Big love up. We didn't cheat love, friend, thorough, all these terms.
Yeah.
And we throw around every day. Everybody, baby, everybody, boo, everybody.
Yeah.
We didn't just, I don't like that. I feel kind of weird. I'm like, I ain't saying it's not that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, bam, on love. Everybody real, everybody thorough.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I love that. She is highly emotional right now, thinking about the possibility of her son's father maybe not being here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So having to do that on her own because she doesn't have a ring and she has not been offered that offer, she could possibly be thinking, I'm doing this on my own. So maybe in that conversation, like you were saying that she has with him, what will you have me do? What is this? Well, this is why I'm extra concerned, because now I'm out here by myself, and maybe that'll open the door for him to say, well, where you're not, because I plan on taking this to the next level, or whatever the case may be. So she's dealing with the emotion of her feeling like he might be gone. Now my child might have a fatherless life, you know, for the rest of his life, and how to handle that. And then I'm in a relationship. How do I do that? So I think that conversation is very key, like you said, to find out where are you right now, and to really do that spot check, to figure out what can he do, like you said, as the king. What can you do in this space to help, to edify, or what can I do to help you feel more safe in this space if you're feeling unsafe?
You know, Queen, if I could say real quick, we deal with a lot of different things, but we still got to go to work.
Oh, we
can't lose our head. We can't lose our head. And so even though, a ring ain't put there, we're still in practice mode.
Yeah.
You still should be in practice. So you should, if you wasn't taught to turn to your father for everything. As an adult, you should have learned to turn to your father, because you go from your father's house to your father's house without bringing your father's house into that man's home. So you still have to respect the order, structure, and the discipline, and you never have to wonder where you are, because this is the reminder of where you are. And regardless of the fact, you're still in practice. So whoever you are here is who you're going to be there as wife. So get the practice in. Don't omit order. Ask those questions now, and don't use, because we use excuses why we don't do stuff. Eliminate that. Be obedient. Regardless about how you feeling, get out of your feelings. You're functioning in your, you're operating in your feelings. You need to function in his spirit, period.
I agree with you 10 toes down. People have to be willing to overstay and know and get above the miseducation, because a lot of it is when I go to teacher trainings, it's like, well, a lot of times we're expecting these scholars to do certain things when they haven't been taught. Well, you should know to walk like this. You should know. Well, who taught them? We can't assume that it's happening in the home. We can't assume that their second grade teacher taught them and I'm their third grade teacher. First, I cannot treat you or give you a consequence for something that you were unaware of. Once I've taught you how to do what we're doing, and now when you are not obeying the rules or the boundaries or the expectations of the classroom, now I can hold you accountable. But to be honest, a lot of us are unaware. A lot of us don't know what we know until we know it.
But by choice. So
It can be
I'm
by
not a
choice.
makeup artist. I love makeup.
Correct.
I did not just sit back and just be like, oh, well, you know what? I don't know how to do makeup. No, I taught myself. So we teach ourselves a whole bunch of different. We teach ourselves the reaction to trauma. We're teaching ourselves everything else. But then now we don't want to grow and teach ourselves this.
We're just disagreeing with you.
I know, Queen. I didn't say that you are. I'm saying that we're without excuse. So as an adult, you're without excuse. And I wouldn't just say adult. 12 years old is that marker. You should be in the know. You're not ignorant. You're not dumb. You should be held accountable for your actions. Now, how accountable you should be held, you shouldn't get life at 12, but you definitely have a consequence that you now can't control because of that. And that now becomes the teacher. So here we go again. You just taught yourself. But no excuses. That's the problem. We giving way too many outs. get the understanding, and grow forward. But cut out all that other stuff and face yourself, man. Face the truth.
You know how sometimes how you can lose yourself in relationships, right?
Yeah.
You know, just by really dealing with things that's something that's new to you, right? Riz, like, what do you wish that people understood about you? Like, really?
So, let me bring this all together real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna finish with that.
Okay.
So I think in this instance, and once again, thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We're about to get up out of here in a minute, but it is very vital, especially when it comes to this letter, that I highlight a few points that he mentioned, right? Okay. Been with her for 5 months. So glad he said that. 5 months.
Yeah.
If you identify someone that you love in 5 months, and also this person lets you meet her son in 5 months. Two key points that's there. You know what I'm saying? So these are two things that you know that the three of y'all have something together, right?
Yeah.
The communication part that was mentioned was kind of non-existent because he said he felt the way when he heard her say that, oh, baby, that was fine, but he left it alone and didn't say nothing. You got to mention that stuff. You know, this is stuff that you holding it. We talk about trauma. If you don't speak about it, it goes under the rug, then it comes back up when something like this happens. So I do think that since you identified this woman as someone you love, since you identified her child as someone that you want to become a family with, you cannot leave her in this state. You leaving her right now in this state that she's in right now, glad she brought that point up too. She's probably thinking about, man, my son is about to be without his father. Man, it could mean a bunch of things in her mind. If you love her, you owe it to her and yourself in this relationship to talk to her and say, baby, what can I do?
Yeah.
I know you're going through it right now. You know, what can I do, you know, to ease this? You're not even going to think about the sex part. You're not going to think about if she still want to be with him, all that stuff. When you have that mindset of, okay, my woman is suffering right now.
Yeah.
What can I do to help? And then that's going to answer a lot of your questions as far as where you should leave or not, because truth be told, it's hard to find love, period, out here. So once you identify it and you know that's what it is, go hard for it. Don't leave her in this mind state. I just my opinion. Stay with her, see it through, you know, and, you know, hopefully everything's working. I'm pretty sure it will, but I wouldn't leave in that situation. But to end on this, I wish people knew about me, how strong my focus is on, I mean, Reggie Move Forward is a name, but everything I've been through, I cannot afford not to go backwards. It's all about moving forward. I can't even, I'm afraid to turn my look behind me right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so focused on doing better for the community, for my family, for my kids, for my friends, my colleagues, everybody. That's anybody that's around me. No, I'm going to always smile when I see you. I'm always going to shake your hand. We're going to talk about everything because I have to move forward. So once you understand that about me, I'm not going to have anybody in my life that's not going to be a part of anything I'm doing. You feel me? So we're going to end on that because we're getting out of time here. But look, I definitely want to thank our guests one more time for coming up today. So glad to have you ladies here for real. Thank you for coming. Mary Kay, where can they find you again?
Oh my gosh. Rock Truth Radio, Mary Selena Kay on Facebook, Kingdom Customary on IG, and then Rock Truth Radio on YouTube.
Hey, thank you for coming. Shartia, where can we find you?
Website, overstandingthegame.com, IG, Shartia _Love Jones _ Miss Divine, Shartia Jones on Facebook, and you literally can Google me, like for real.
Come on now. Talk good stuff. Moolah.
MoolahMonster.com. Like I said before, hit the live. The first person to comment, share, they get a free hoodie.
There it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed. Yes. Of course, I'm the voice of vibes, Reggie Move Forward. Just call me RMF, Reggie Move Forward on Facebook. IG is the voice of vibes _RMF. And we about to get up here, but I'm gonna do my final little thought. Also, look, don't forget the 302 Awards is coming.
Yes, sir.
Vote for y'all already know who the best podcast show is. I don't even gotta say it, man. Vote for us for the best, hottest podcast out there Just put in TOTB, thinking outside the box. They know who he is already. The city know who he is, all right? Go get into him. All right, look. Think this final thought. Okay. We talked about a lot today, man. I ain't gonna lie. A lot was talked about when it comes to healing, trauma, triggers. You know, I'm so grateful for these ladies to come and educate us on a lot when it comes to how to deal with those certain things. Right? I think we need that as a people. Yeah. But the years keep going. You know, this year flew by. You know, so we coming towards the end of the year. People always make these resolutions for what they're gonna do in the next year. Look, just try to be better tomorrow than who you is today. That's it. Just try to be better each day. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself for the future. Stop holding yourself or beating yourself up for the past. Live it today and try to be better tomorrow, right? And look, we just getting started, man. They family now, so they're gonna be back. All right. With that, look, we will see y'all next time. Get in tune. Go follow the hottest show, TOTB_show on YouTube and IG, TikTok, TOTB the dopest. And look, we'll see y'all next time, man. Get in tune. Have a safe night. Peace.
Time out for scare you, scary route today. And follow us down Courage Lane. They cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day, but not talking intoxicating rage. Not this is